Welcome to Interview with the Monsters, episode 2. So, anyone who wasn't here for episode 1, we're going to reintroduce all of the little monsters. And can y'all stop chewing your gum in the mic? That is gross because other people might not be able to hear it once I edit this, but it's in my headphones, and everyone knows how much I hate the sound of chewing. Fucking gross. All right, you can go first. Introductions.
My name is Anthony.
Talk in your mic.
My name is Tony.
Okay. And you are, little buddy?
Public Caesar Tatika.
That's
My
right.
name is Anthony.
Yes, your real name is Anthony. We call you Tony, Space Cadet. We got Pacho or Pablo Caesar, and then
We all like call it PM Pools.
we're not going to pee in pools today. Your name?
My name is Annabelle, and my nickname is Teddy.
Ted. So today we are going to talk about a few things. First, everyone knows that the last day of school happened already. Stop, Pacho. But we want to talk about bullying a little bit, which is going to be like a multi-part thing. Pablo, stop. That's so gross. It's going to be a multi-part thing because Annabelle, she's had some issues at school with some girls, which we are not going to say names. And if we accidentally say a name, I will bleep it out, but try not to say names, please. Annie's had a few issues at school. Tony, he doesn't get bullied at school, but he did have a recent incident that we are going to be talking about today.
No.
It kind of goes along the lines of bullying when it comes to boys and girls. So that's something that we want to talk about today.
Boy.
No shit, Sherlock. So just to start it off, Annabelle, do you want to kind of let everyone know sort of what happened recently? And for anyone that this might be a trigger warning for that does have kids, it does have to do with like body shaming and things like that. So Annabelle, if you want to kind of start it off a little bit, and I can kind of help talk about what happened. So just to start, there was an incident at school with someone who was her friend, right?
So the fight last week was, me and my friend were like walking, but then this girl came behind us because like she was the tagger. So I was starting to run, but then after she tagged me and she said, "Oh, you're so slow because you're so fat." Then after she said, I'm not good at basketball and whatever. And I said that she wasn't either because, she's not the best at basketball.
So, but one of the things that we have talked about before, and Anthony, I've talked about this with you, Annie, I've talked about this with you, which is hard for children, is that when someone says something mean to you, I've told you guys to just kind of walk away a little bit when someone says something mean to them is what? Are you supposed to say something mean back?
No.
What should you say if someone says something mean to you?
I don't have time to talk to you.
Yeah, something along those lines. Say, I don't have time for your negativity, and walk away from the situation. We don't want to instigate it further, which is kind of what happened. But as kids, I know that that's hard to control, right? Right? If someone's being mean to you, it's hard for you to just kind of hold it in. So in Annabelle's scenario, someone telling her that she's, running slow because she's fat and that she's bad at basketball obviously hurt her. That's like, Anthony, if someone goes and says you're bad at soccer, you're going to be pissed, right? And what would you say back? Realistically, what would you say back if someone said, "Oh, you're bad at soccer"?
I don't know. Just say you suck at soccer too.
You suck at soccer too. So that's the thing, is that once you say something back, it gets them riled up, and then they want to they want to keep attacking you. So Annabelle, after you had said to her, "Oh no, I'm not bad at basketball, you're bad at basketball."
Mommy, I love you.
Babe, I love you too. Who's my favorite little Pablo?
Me.
Duh.
And Mommy, I'm flirting with you.
Yes.
Or do you mean the favorite child?
I don't have a favorite child. Anyway.
And
That's right. Annabelle, so after she had said, "You're bad at basketball," you went ahead and said, "No, you're bad at basketball." And then what happened? Because it just kind of snowballed from there, right?
So, she like said something else like I'm not strong and I'm like weak, but she's as skinny as a toothpick. Like she's as skinny as a toothpick and I'm stronger than her, but she's so then after she took a piece of yarn out of the yarn ball because that's the ball that she had to tag us with, and
Mhm.
she threw it at us or she threw it at me, but I thought she was gonna throw the whole ball at me, so I like moved back a little bit.
You flinched a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, if I take this pen and I go to chuck it at Space Cadet right now, he's going to flinch. Everybody flinches. Like, I mean, if you guys try to come at me or throw a ball at me or something, I'm going to flinch. That's like human nature. It doesn't mean you're weak, like, at all. It's an unexpected.
Go punch me.
No, right. So, go ahead, Ted.
Then after this whole thing started, and I told her to like, if you're really that strong, then come fight me right now. And then she's like, okay, I will right now. But then her boyfriend came over and like was trying to stop the whole entire thing, but she's like, no, I want to fight her, like me
Right.
and everything. So then she pushed me, so then I pushed her back, and then this whole thing started. But then
Where you guys were just like pushing each other
pushing each other,
pretty
but
much.
like
hard.
hard. But like she was hitting me, but I was just like pushing her
Right.
because like she was pushing me too.
Right.
And then my friend came over and grabbed her hair and like put her to the ground.
Right.
But then after, like when we were done and everything, and like the principal grabbed me and my friend to sit, he took the girl that was trying to fight me, took her around and everything. But after when he brought her back to the principal's office, the gym, because
Mhm.
that's where we were. The principal brought me and my friend into the music room, and
All right, Pablo, sit down, buddy.
the principal was blaming stop.
All right, buddy, sit down. Let Annie finish telling her story.
And then the principal blamed me that
Pablo, stop. Sit down. And then the principal was blaming you, pretty much saying that you were the one that started it.
Yes,
right?
I was the one that started it. And then then my friend had to leave. So then after she was like, good luck and everything.
Obviously, you have to apologize anyway. Because,
But she should have apologized first, though.
yes, she should have apologized too, but you also should have apologized because, like I just said a few minutes ago, stop. Like I just said a few minutes ago, you shouldn't have said something back, which, like I said, as a kid, it's really hard to do. Even as an adult, it's hard to do, which Anthony's situation, we're going to talk about in a minute because, I mean, I tell you guys, oh, don't do this, but then as an adult, I mean, we all have weak moments where we just can't help it. And I know how much that affects your self-esteem because a lot of the kids at school have been bullying you for the way you wear your hair or the way that you look or that your Nikes aren't real or just like dumb shit. Go ahead, Tony.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Lord have mercy. Go. We're still going to talk though.
Can I have candy?
You can have candy as soon as we're done, as long as you don't fart in the mic. So, it doesn't help your self-esteem at all, and I know you can't help but kind of like go off when someone says that, and I know that definitely hurt you, right? Like when that situation had happened. And I know, the principal too, maybe not making you feel like he's on your side was hard as well, almost like you're the one that started it.
Yeah, because he's like, you need to be respectful to each other and everything, but that doesn't help.
But did he say the same thing to her? I'm assuming so. You might not know what he said to her if he said something without you in the room, but no matter what, you guys should be respecting each other. But also, this particular person should not have been body shaming you. She should not have been calling you fat, which I know that kids have been doing at school, which is obviously not true.
Call me fat. Can you call me fat?
Okay, buddy. You shouldn't be calling anybody that. And I know that there's times at school where even some of your friends that have seen me, one of them that was close to you has even called, your mom fat. And obviously that is going to bother you on a day-to-day basis. It's definitely difficult. And I didn't think that you being in elementary school, all this stuff would happen because I don't remember this stuff happening in elementary school at all. Like, how does that make you feel now? Like, do you feel better that you're not in school and you don't have to deal with it? Like, maybe this will blow over the summer.
yeah, like I'm happy that I'm home and I get a break from all like the kids bullying me and everything. But when I go back to school, I just hope that they don't like keep bullying me because I don't think one of them is gonna be here this year
Right.
or in 5th grade. So
Which the one that she thinks isn't going to be here this year is one of the ones that bullied her the most, and actually was the girl that came to Annabelle's rescue during that fight and pulled the girl down by her hair and sat on her.
because that's when her and I were like friends.
Right. So they are like best friends, but then they kind of like break up being best friends and then they're best friends again. But I mean, hopefully the summer will help the situation. And then when school starts, everyone can kind of get over it, I guess is what I could say. I'm hoping that that will happen. I mean, I know you are too. Because I don't want you going into a new school year being stressed out about people bullying you. And for anyone who might even say,
The museum.
yeah, the museum. For anyone who might even say, like, oh, well, she shouldn't have said, oh, you want to fight me or hit her back or anything like that. Yes, my daughter knows that she should not have said, oh, like, you want to fight me, let's fight. My daughter also knows that if she does get into a fight, she is never to throw the first punch. My daughter also knows that I've given her permission that if she feels as though she needs to defend herself, then she can defend herself, correct?
Yes, and that's what I was saying to the principal. Like I need to defend myself sometimes, but he's like,
Like it's hard as a kid to not defend yourself. I mean, yeah, I tell you guys, oh, say, oh, I don't have time for this, and then just walk away, but that's so hard to do, almost impossible to do. So Space Cadet is back from using the banyo, so we're going to talk about his situation, which is different from Annabelle's, but recently Space Cadet got into, Pablo, move over, it's not funny, and then we're going to talk about you being a bully. Are you a bully? Are you a mean boy? So Space Cadet recently got into a situation where he was playing basketball, right? From what you remember, because you are kind of a Space Cadet, and I feel like you know what happened, but it's like hard for you to remember. I don't know what you mean by pronounce. But go ahead. What happened with your situation? And no names.
I can't really pronounce it.
An altercation?
What?
Like, okay, so he was playing basketball and he was playing with a girl, right?
Yes.
And so they were playing and she
Can I go to the
like
bathroom?
attacked him pretty much when they were playing and trying to like knock the ball out of his hand and like pushed him and stuff like that. And when she did that, he pushed her back in the back of the head, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what happened?
Then she went home and told her. Then she went home and told her mom and her dad.
Okay, and then what happened after that?
oh, I remember.
I'm asking Space Cadet. This is his story.
Anyway, you can say it.
No, Anthony, this is your story.
Then their sister and brother came.
Right. So we were all outside, and I saw the brother and a girl coming, which happened to be his girlfriend. And they were like walking up the street, and I heard them saying, like, oh, are those the parents? And they came up to me, and they were like, your son hit our sister in the back of the head. And I was like, not in the mood for it. And I was like, okay, let me figure out what happened. So I called Space Cadet over, and I was like, Tony, what happened? And you walked over, right? No, what? Is there something I'm missing? I'm not missing anything. This is literally how it happened.
Were you gonna say like?
I'm going to say, I'm not even done telling the story.
I know, but the girlfriend kept saying like.
I'm not done talking, Annabelle. So, Anthony, I came up to you and I was like, what happened? And you were like, oh, yeah, I did push her, right?
Yeah.
Right. And so after he was like, oh, yes, I pushed her, I went and I turned around and the girlfriend was like, you need to discipline your child. He shouldn't be hitting girls, right? Are you supposed to hit girls?
No.
Okay, but you're also a kid, right? So when you guys are playing with each other, obviously boys are hitting girls and girls are hitting boys. It happens all the time. I'm assuming it happens at school, right?
No, not really.
Not as much. But like, you don't get into fights at school, right?
No.
Because you have plenty of friends. Pablo, stop. Because you have plenty of friends, right? So you don't really get into fights like that. Like,
No.
because you're friends with everybody. I feel like you're like semi-popular without trying to say that you're popular. Like, you don't get into fights with people. You have plenty of friends. So this situation, like, obviously he knows he's not supposed to hit girls, but for me, anyone that talks behind my back and says like, oh, she needs to discipline her kid better, blah, 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 fine, you can say what you want behind my back. That's fine. But anyone that says it to my face sets me off. And so mommy went a little crazy.
Oh,
And she was like, oh, you need to discipline your kid. He shouldn't be hitting girls. And I was like, don't fucking tell me that I need to discipline my kids. Like it's almost like she wanted me to discipline you in front of her, pretty much was like how it was, right?
yes.
And obviously I'm not going to do that. It's none of her business how I discipline him, like whether he gets in trouble and I send him to his room or whoop your ass. Just joking, I wouldn't do that. But huh?
You don't whoop our butt.
No, I wouldn't whoop your ass.
Don't whoop me.
I love you.
And don't whoop me.
I would never whoop you. But anyway, so she was like, oh, you need
Don't whoop me.
yes, sir. So anyway, she was like, oh, you need to discipline your son. He shouldn't be hitting girls, and that kind of set me off because I was like, you don't need to tell me how to discipline my kids. Like, don't do that. Like, you don't even have kids. Don't tell me how to discipline my kids. And so she kind of went off. It snowballed. Everyone was yelling at each other, and she was pretty much like trying to say that my son was like a bad kid in a way. So I brought Tony inside because I was getting all like heated and everything. And that's when Tony explained to me that this girl had actually attacked him, and that's why he pushed her. So I came outside and I was like, she attacked him, and that's why he pushed her to push her off. And that the girlfriend was like, it doesn't matter. Like, that's a girl. He shouldn't be hitting girls, blah, 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 blah. The brother was like yelling, and he's like, you don't know who I am. Like, don't fuck with me. And I was like, we're all like, I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, really don't care. Like, for them to come over here and start a situation over a child,
Me?
like, fight was absolutely ridiculous. And to try to even tell me how I should be disciplining my kids or anything like that was absolutely insane in my eyes. And like I said, Anthony, you're not supposed to hit girls, right?
Yes.
But if you feel as though you need to defend yourself and push someone off of you, you are allowed to do so, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But you guys shouldn't be hitting each other. So that was a situation that Anthony was in, and I feel like it's kind of a difficult situation, and obviously different than Annabelle's because it's almost like saying that girls can bully boys and they have to just deal with it, right?
Yeah.
And are you going to deal with that?
No.
Like, maybe next time use your words and be like, get off of me, don't touch me, don't push me, or something like that. But for her family to then come over and say stuff to us was just wrong in my eyes. How does the situation make you feel now that it's over?
It like it makes me feel like no one likes me.
Because she got into the fight with you?
Yeah.
And she told on you over something stupid?
Yeah.
Right. I get what you mean. But everybody likes you, right?
Yeah.
Duh. Anyone that doesn't like you is just, I don't know.
Me doesn't. I don't
Yeah,
know. Not
I'm
like
going to call them mean.
that. Like they don't have lots of friends or anything. They're just like, oh,
Well, they're like, no.
like, the
Yeah, but that's just weird to say. I mean, I'm sure that girl has plenty of friends, but for her to do that to Anthony was just wrong. And I feel bad for you to even sit there and say like, oh, you feel like people don't like you, because it's obviously not true. Like, and I know that you know that because you have plenty of friends at school. You play with kids all the time. But like I said, these two situations were different. Annie's being bullied, in a different way than Anthony. And I don't even know if I would really call Anthony's bullying. It's a little bit different, but I think everyone can kind of understand where I'm coming from with that, I'm sure. Do you have something to say, Annie? Your face looks like it does.
No, it's weird because I've never like been in a fight before, like at school.
Right.
So that was like my first time, and I didn't like know what to do. So.
Right. And obviously you're not going to know what to do. I mean, I'm out here and like, I haven't gotten into a fight since I was in a freaking group home or like foster care. I don't even remember which one. And I'm out here like the gangsters like coming at me from like back in the day. And I know you guys have never seen me like that before either. So like, have you ever seen me like that?
Mommy.
No.
Never.
Mama.
No.
Did you tell me again and help when the guys were yelling?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because you didn't need to see all that. But thankfully, the actual parents did eventually come over.
Well, I told the guys.
I know. The actual parents did come over and they did apologize for what their son had did, for what their daughter had did. Anthony, you went over to the house and apologized, right?
Yes.
And did she apologize to you too?
Yes.
Yeah. Did it make you feel better when she apologized to you?
Kind of.
But do you feel like she's your friend or like you just don't want to hang out with her?
I don't want to hang out with her.
Yeah, because like I don't want you guys to get into like fights with kids like that. It's the summertime, so I mean I want you guys to enjoy your summer. I don't want like stupid shit like this to happen. All right, do you guys have anything else that you want to say? Anthony?
No.
Pacho, do you have anything that you feel as though you need to say?
Are we gonna talk about Pacho bullying or no? There was
well,
nothing about Pacho.
No, he doesn't really get bullied.
Yeah, but
No, but he is.
Tony, Pacho bullies you in his own way, doesn't he? How does he bully you?
Like, he bites me, he yells at me, he hits me, and he's, like, on Annabelle's side, kicking me.
Yeah, and he shouldn't do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Pacho, you know that you're not supposed to. Annie's like, what? Why? What is he talking about? But it's true because Pacho always seems to be like on your side over Tony's side.
But sometimes he's on like both sides. So like sometimes he's on Tony's side, sometimes he's on my side.
Yeah,
So
most
it's
of the
like
times he's on your
Yeah,
side.
exactly,
Mommy.
Anthony.
When Tony is on my way sleeping next to me, Tony kicks me.
When you're sleeping with Tony, he kicks you.
Yeah.
Pacho, every single time you sleep into my bed and sleep in my bed, every single night you kick me. So going to kind of, I guess end this with a dad joke.
It's not bad. They aren't bad.
They're not bad dad jokes like that, but actually, Tony, you want to grab it for me because I'm kind of hooked up over here. Ew, Annabelle, why does your face look like that? All right, thanks, buddy. Okay, I have one. Ready?
Yeah.
What do you call a funny mountain?
Funny mountain looking.
No, Annie, what do you call a funny mountain?
I don't know.
Family.
Ew, you guys are whack today. Hilarious.
Mom,
Get it? Because it's like a hill.
Mommy, Mommy.
Oh, Pacho, what do you call a funny mountain? Sorry.
Hilarious.
Cheater. All right, here's a good one. What do you call a fairy who doesn't wash? Like, wash their body. What do you call a fairy that doesn't wash?
Fairy wash?
No. Pancho, what do you call a fairy who doesn't wash?
That doesn't take a shower.
Yeah, but what do you call them? Do you call them something? What would you call them, Tony?
I'm a tiger.
No.
Why? No.
A Tinkerbell.
Yeah, because it's like a Tinkerbell was like
Yeah. Yeah. Annie is like totally unamused by that right now. All
I
right.
don't know how you guys think this is funny, but
They
anyway.
are funny because they're bad dad jokes. They are funny. So we're gonna kind of end this episode. Next week we're gonna be talking about the kids and how they feel about their chores. We might do like another episode squeezing in. Anthony, you don't want to talk about your chores? Lord have mercy. We're probably gonna try to squeeze another episode about bullying because it goes beyond what we have talked about today. But I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Anthony, are you good, bro? Yeah. Pancho, do a funny face because these weirdos are doing a funny face. That's always the thing that you do. Why? What the fuck?
Yeah, Brendan,
This is how you do it.
Brendan doesn't like when I go like this.
This is how you do it.
Ew.
No, Brendan doesn't like that.
And you know what? I don't like that. That's freaking disgusting. All right, so we're gonna end this episode. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Yeah, go like
Subscribe.
this.
Subscribe.
Tony, go like this. Subscribe.
Bye.
Yeah. All right, so we'll see y'all next week. Adios.
Adios, amigos.
Bye.